Hello everybody, my name's Nicola and welcome back to my channel. This is the Frugal Cottage where we talk all things money to help you on your financial journey. Today's video is my dividend income for February 2022, so don't forget to like and subscribe. And let's get started. So I'll be honest, this is way overdue. This is not how I normally do my channels. If you're new here, this is very delayed. But I'll be honest, life in general is fairly tricky to juggle at the moment, and so unfortunately, time-wise, something has to give, and unfortunately that has been my online stuff, so to speak. But I'm hoping to try and get back in the swing of things, and that begins with this video. So if you're new here, I am aiming for early retirement, and our dividend income is part of that, or most of that to be fair. And you'll see that the numbers are still fairly small, but I'm hoping that by doing this consistently over time, it will provide us with an income for early retirement. So I've been paid by 4 different holdings in February. This is less than last year because last year Tesco did a special dividend payment, and that's like a one-off payment, so this hasn't been this time. And as always, all the things that I talk about here are not recommendations. This is just me sharing my journey with you. So let's get started. So the first company that paid me was BT Group. Now this holding hasn't paid out for like 2 years, and it's finally started at a slightly lower rate than before, paying out dividends again, which is good. So I'm glad I've held on to this for so long, because now obviously it all adds up. So BT Group are the first one to talk about, and they paid out £11.55. So not a bad start, I suppose. Again, considering that they've not paid anything for 2 years, I'm happy with that. The second one is Legal and General US Index. This is actually a fund that I hold in my portfolio. This pays out 2 times a year, once in February, and I think the other time is in August. And I have another US index fund that pays out in December, but the reason why there's different ones is just because I'm trying to get that monthly income as an average as far as possible to be stable around £1,000 a month. And this paid out in February. This paid out £18.17. So again, not bad. I don't think I've added much to this fund for quite a while now, so that's probably why it's kind of stayed the same for quite a long time. The third one is Sage Group again. So this is another company that I've had in my portfolio for, I think, I'm going to say around 5 years. It was one of the holdings I bought quite early on, and I've not actually added anything to, because I got them at quite a good share price, and then they've really increased since then. So it's on my watch list, because at some point I would like to add more, but at the moment the price of their shares is not at a level which I'd like to purchase in. But they paid out in February £17.45. So you can see here that the numbers are quite similar in terms of the total, and that's because actually the number of holdings I have in all of these are fairly similar as well, and I aim to get a certain kind of dividend yield. So if I have the same amount of shares in different holdings, they are going to pay out similar amounts. The final one for February is Vodafone. So Vodafone is again one of the first companies I purchased way back. I think I purchased these in 2017, and again I haven't actually added any more to them, but they're such a big company, and I have my mobile phone with them, but like they're all over the world, and so it seems like a fairly consistent one to have. The only worrying thing about this is if their dividend is going to continue at the same rate, but they paid me out £18.79. So you can see they're really similar numbers from the 4 holdings that I have in February. So in total, these paid out during the month of February £65.96. So it's okay, I suppose. It's not great. It's not. I'm aiming for kind of my next milestone to hit is £250 every single month, and you can see there from that I'm nowhere near £250. £65.96 is all right, but it's not where I want to be at this stage. Now, going forward, I don't know how much more in terms of monthly investments I'm not going to be able to keep it at the same rate unless my income increases, just because as with everybody, kind of just living costs, really basic living costs are going up so much, and it's really hard to balance the books. But we will keep going anyway, and that is my dividend income for you. I'm going to share with you the graph for the year so far, and then the overall dividend earned and invested cash, because you know me, I like a visual aid to represent what I'm doing as well. So let's have a look at that first. So this is the graph for the year so far. So obviously January was so much better than February, and there's only been 2 months of the year gone so far. But that just shows you just how the totals are so different from month to month. And the reason why I'm kind of aiming for an average of £1,000 a month is it will be easiest to track in that sense. But obviously I know that I'm not going to get it to £1,000 a month every month and that'll be that. Some months are going to be more than others, some months are going to be less, but overall as an average, that should hopefully, in theory, at the end of all of this balance out quite nicely. So that's the graph that I've got for that. And obviously as the year goes on, that will show more and more in terms of ups and downs in the dividend income that I receive for every single month of the year. And I'm going to just show you a final thing just to show you dividend earned and invested cash as a little bit of a thing as well. So here we are, this is the final thing on this spreadsheet. And again, obviously there's only been 2 months of the year so far, so it doesn't look very good in terms of figures filled in. But you can see here, so January I got £147.72 worth of dividends, and I invested £800 worth of cash into my ISA. I have my ISA with Hargreaves Lansdown, and I'll leave a link below to them. I really recommend them as a service. And then you can see there February was £65.96 and I invested £800 as well. Now that £800 figure going forward, it's just not sustainable for the income that we have. Things like just food, petrol, childcare, gas and electric, everything is going up. And so that £800 figure is not going to be £800 for much longer. I can't sustain that. Unless like my YouTube, blog, Etsy income all kind of increase dramatically, it's just not possible at the moment for me to continue at the speed, I suppose you'd say, that I am at the moment. And that's incredibly disappointing to have to say, but there's not much I can do about it unless, like I say, unless I can get kind of YouTube income, Etsy income, blog income, or somebody suddenly buys me lots of coffees from the link below. I'm just not going to be able to do that. So we'll see how the next kind of few months pan out in terms of income and investments and just general living costs. But I have a feeling it's probably, if I manage £500 a month, then I'm probably doing okay. And I say that because we had a letter from the gas and electricity people the other day, and they're putting up our direct debit by nearly £200. And yes, I'm going to kind of ring and question that and all that kind of stuff, but it's just unavoidable costs at the moment are starting to rise. But that being said, I'm going to plod on with my dividend income and my dividend journey regardless and see where it gets us. So that's it for February 2022. Have you had any dividends this month? What were you paid during the month of February? Let me know down below. I love hearing from people who are also receiving dividend income. And if you've not started investing yet, what is holding you back? Maybe it's an income thing. And I totally appreciate that at the moment that might be a very big reason for lots of people not investing. And as always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you again very soon.